Hello, my name is Nisha, of course. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. And if you're not, and if you've been here before, thank you for returning. It's been a while since I've uploaded. Let me see, how long has it been? It's been 9 months since I uploaded. Where have I been? So that's not what we're going to get into today. Just know I'm back and I'm getting better and I'm progressing with my content. I've been doing a lot of planning. And as you can tell by the title, in today's video, I am going to be dropping some gems and secrets on how I get my details in my art, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it because people DM me all the time and people comment, even email me too, asking me questions like, how do you draw this, or how do you do that, or how, like, that detail is just there in your art. Y'all get it. As an artist, if you're doing portraits and realism art, especially with face detail, it is hard to draw faces. I'm not going to say it was easy, but I've been doing this since I was like 7 years old. I used to sketch portraits at magazines of people's faces. And if you don't know that already, it's just a natural thing. But I can say I've noticed I picked up a lot of tricks over time. It's natural, but I picked up a lot of tricks over time. And I'm going to say that again. What I mean by that is anything that I say in this video, it's not 100% guaranteed that it's something that you're going to know how to do right off bat. Just know that anything that you go for, it takes practice. I forgot to mention before I get into the video, if you haven't already checked out my 20Artist guide that I've been spamming my Instagram about, TikTok about, telling everybody about, if you haven't already checked it out, it's right here and it'll be in my bio in my link tree. People say that they love the way that I draw my eyelashes, so I just made a quick e-guide that's about 30 pages long that gets in depth with worksheets and, you know, just details and walkthrough on how I draw eyelashes and what I refer to get that realistic look. If you're big on details, that's definitely a start because I do drop a lot of information on how I refer. It's more of how I refer to the reference to make my art look a certain way. Basically what it is, because everybody have a different outlook while they're creating. Everybody see different, and I'm just trying to give like my eye. After that long intro, here we go. Finally, my feed has so many portraits for 200 posts. In those 200 posts, that's not even half of the mistakes I've made, half of the art I created, half of anything that I've done, and half of the hard work that I've put in. So number one, when you're creating your portraits, do not rely on the reference fully. You're probably like, what does that mean? Don't rely on the reference fully. You have your art reference there, you're looking at it, you're relying on it, and you're looking at it. When you're actually drawing on your own on that paper, you're going to have a certain mindset to realize that this portrait is not going to turn out exactly like this picture, because it's not. Every portrait I created probably looks like 85% of the reference. The reason I say that don't rely heavily on the reference is because you're going to start having this mindset that's going to discourage you to want to stop or not complete the picture, or not for it to turn out what the original idea was, because you're so caught up in trying to make it look like the original picture. And that's why a lot of people don't ever, achieve this realism thing. They're like, my eyes don't ever line up, or this don't line up, or that don't line up. And that's just overthinking it, because nothing's ever meant to look identical, not even twins. So for an example, my most recent portrait, well, one of my most recent portraits that I want to refer to was this one, the Lady Gaga makeup portrait. If you refer the reference here, let me move over the reference here and then the portrait, you can see that when you look at it, it's gaga. But for some reason, you can tell like certain things just look a little different. Because for one, I have an art style that I'm learning to work on. And for two, once again, your art is never going to look exactly like the reference, but it's going to resemble and you're going to know that it is. Something's going to look different no matter how hard you try to put it, if that makes sense. Even here, like this portrait too, really quick, the hair don't look identical, but you know it's the picture. Tip number 2, as you know, this is based around digital art, so let me place this tip on the table. Procreate is only good. My light just went out, but let me finish this because my camera's about to die. Procreate is not that good for certain realism portraits. If you're trying to make extreme detail where it doesn't look cartoon realistic or just not cartoonish, because Procreate just gives off this cartoonish look no matter how hard you try to create a portrait. It just looks cartoonish. Y'all are like, probably like, I paid $10 for Procreate. I this with Procreate. I that with Procreate. And I understand 100% what you're doing here. But if you're trying to get those small, even the slightest details, Procreate can be kind of tricky because how the brushes come off and how they are made. No downplay on Procreate, but I use, my gosh, IBIS Paint X. Software is just 100% better and it gets more into detail for some reason, especially with certain brushes. You can actually make a whole realism portrait with an airbrush and it not look like a cartoon like Procreate do. Procreate colors are way more vibrant. Right on. You don't have to, which I don't, because I know people who use IBIS Paint X have to go in and they have to use a software to like filter the photo because the colors are not as vibrant, but the details are there. Y'all know how it is in these chat forums. When you're just using IBIS Paint X, it is good when you're getting more into doing your detail. Switch up on your software. That's number 2. Just switch up on your software. I would say you can use Procreate as like a top on, but expand your horizon a little bit. Find other softwares that could possibly be good and possibly bring more detail if you're looking to get into that realism art digitally, because when you're working in digital, you have to play around with these softwares, see what fits you, what's better, because it's not like a paper where you can have pencils and paint or whatever you decide to create with. It is not the same because you can blend with the slightest thing. It's just different. It's just different. You just have to play around with these softwares so that way it can fit your talent. I would just say use Procreate as a top off when you're like adding like the final details or those finding blending steps, but actually using it as a whole, no sir, no. Tip number 3, do not be scared to, my light. Do not be scared to use the color white when you're adding those small highlighting details. Don't be scared. No matter how dark the skin is, no matter how light the skin is, play around with those light highlight colors, if you know what I mean. Like if you're using someone who's more Caucasian or light skin, use white. But if you're getting like brown skin or dark skin, I'm gonna have to check the plug. If you're using someone darker, then screenshot this and use one of these tones, these colors as the highlight. But white is on any color palette. Use white if you're using a lighter skin color, but that's what make it pop. So number 3, do not be scared to use those light colors or the color white to get your highlights, because those are a lifesaver. It's like the picture go from matte to glossy real quick. Those were the main tips. If this video get where I expect it to go, I may do a part 2, actually getting in depth with like a live hands-on you know, video showing me actually drawing and showing you the tips that way, instead of me verbally sitting here giving you the walkthrough with photo references on the screen. So we're just going to wrap this up for now. If you have any questions or concerns, you know where to reach me at. If you already been here, if not, here's my link tree. Here are my socials. Feel free to DM me about any questions you may have about any videos if you can't reach me on here. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever, to keep your mind open to staying up to date with me, because for you to go through the day, through the week, through the month to think about me, that just means a whole lot. My camera's about to die again. I don't want this to end, and I didn't end this video properly, so let me go ahead and stop it now. See you in the next one. My goal is to start uploading regularly, like every week, so be on the lookout for that. Just follow me on Instagram to stay up to date.